To the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin price action is pulling back. Also, WisdomTree amends their S1 form spot Bitcoin ETF filing as crypto awaits these final SEC decisions and deadlines. We'll also be discussing CoinShares gets the buying rights to Valkyrie's crypto ETF unit. That's right. Also in today's show, breaking news. Ripple lawyer urges a fact check of Gary Gensler's speech, says the SEC actions seem as shady. Not only that, but Max Kaiser responded to this headline. He says, Ripple and XRP fits the description of a criminal racket. RICO statutes apply. Also in today's show, something has changed. ARK Invest's Kathy Wood says the odds of the SEC approving a spot Bitcoin ETF have shot up. Send it. Let's freaking go. We're also going to be discussing why BlackRock is buying so much Bitcoin and when is the BlackRock ETF filing likely to be approved. We'll also be sharing some predictions from BlackRock. All this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining us here today. Massive shout out to everyone in that live chat. Let me know if the stream is smooth and clear. You could hear me okay, see me okay. Massive shout out to everyone out there. Passive income, good to see you, fam. What it do, Larry Low? Mining hash rates are through the roof the past few days. That's right. Massive congestion on the Bitcoin mainnet as well. Definitely a good sign. What up, Fredo? NYC in a building. Good to see you as well, fam. Shout out to Coin Father. Shout out to Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to Digital Dankness and all of our incredible moderators as well as Streamlabs. What it do, fam? What are you guys most excited about this week? Please do let me know. Clearly, Bitcoin has pulled back some after looking to retest 38,000 again. Unfortunately, we didn't break through, but we got so close. It was like 37,999, and this is the second attempt that fails. So I think once we're likely to pull back and accumulate again, we can likely finally break through. Third time being the charm. But you let me know your thoughts. What up on Matrix? Good morning, fam. Jeremy Amos, good to see you. And just as a heads up, today and yesterday we went early on the stream. Tomorrow we'll be back to the normal time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. So please take note of that. What it do, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg? You got the best username on YouTube, just saying. What up, Sack? Love from Saigon. Much love, fam. Good to see ya. Maximus says loud and crystal clear. Music to my ears. Good stuff. What it do, Jeremy Amos? That's right. TGIF. Thank God it is Friday. The weekend is amongst us. Let's freaking go. Anyways, fam, let's kick it off as we do each and every day with our market watch. But first, a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button. You're going to receive an on-screen shout out and receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also, be sure to smash the like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. The goal is to get this channel to 100,000 subs as fast as humanly possible. And I think the price action of Bitcoin will likely follow. So let's make that happen. But anyways, fam, today is podcast episode number 1464. I'm your host, JV, and today is November 17th, 2023. Let's go. Checking out the market watch here. Let me know if you can see that on your screen. We got Bitcoin, again, pulling back, currently just above $36,100, corrected about 1.5%. Past 24 hours. We got the ETH price action back under 2,000, down 5% for the day. Big losers for the day, Solana down 11%, but still massively up for the month, clearly well over 150%. We got Cardano down 8% and BNB also correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a $1.37 trillion market cap with 66 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is currently sitting at 51.4% with the Ether dominance at 17% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, there's not really much in the green, but Celestia still leading the pack, up 151% on the week and 7% on the day. Mantle up 6% on the day, and we have Dogecoin up almost 4% on the day, barely trading above 8 cents. Now, which altcoins are you currently most bullish on? Let me know in the comments below. And checking out a broader perspective, checking out crypto bubbles, virtually all the major cryptos are currently correcting in the red, with only a handful in the green. Some of the big losers include eHex, FTT, and Kaz, as well as Ordi. But they say when in doubt, zoom out. So let's look on the monthly. Everything is in the green. So don't forget about that. When in doubt, zoom out, fam. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, you can see we're currently rated a 63, which is greed. Yesterday was a 70, last week a 70, and last month a 50, which is neutral. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Massive shout out to Emilio Gonzalez. I appreciate the kind super chat. Much love, much respect. Church Yard says, what it do? Welcome, fam. How was up with the fam? You know, just another exciting weekend. Let's see what the price action will bring us. Looks like a little consolidation, but that's okay and to be expected. Nothing new, right? What up, relaxing? Good morning as well. Appreciate the support as always. Shout out to J-Dub, the Laker, 21 mil. What it do? How you been, brother? Let me know. Good stuff. But anyways, we do have lots to cover. Appreciate the comments. Everyone, let me know where you're tuning in from. This is a live and interactive show each and every day, 7 days a week. If you don't know, now you know. But let's now kick it off with our Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out some of the charts and where the price action is likely to go next. Here we go. Check it. Bitcoin's bull market FOMO has yet to appear despite the Bitcoin price being up still 120% on the year. Data from the statistics platform Look Into Bitcoin shows that the on-chain transactions are only starting to involve the younger Bitcoin. That's right. Bitcoin remains near 18-month highs and well beyond its bear market trading range and several key resistance levels. While the number of the smaller wallets is increasing, there has not been a major return to the network from speculators, those holding Bitcoin for short periods of time, which would be the short-term hodlers. Now, in a new post, Look Into Bitcoin creator Philip Swift. Shout out to Philip. I've had him before on the show do some TA. If you'd like me to bring Philip Swift back to the show for some live TA, let me know. Maybe we'll make it happen. Now, he flagged the realized cap hodl waves metric, also known as the realized hodl waves, as proof. The R hodl splits the existing hodl waves metric, which divides Bitcoin by age group of the supply and compares it to the price at which it last moved on chain. The result is a spike in the coins, which frequently move during bull market phases, and the opposite in the bear markets, where investors are afraid to sell or in the red on their hodlings. Quoting him here, warmer color, low time frame waves are only just starting to increase as coins are transferred on chain. No FOMO yet, but we are still early. Preach. Now, continuing the examination of the Bitcoin supply age bands on-chain, a contributor to on-chain analytics platform, CryptoQuant, stressed that those who increased their Bitcoin exposure in the run-up to the 2021 all-time highs remain underwater. He also shared that using the net realized profit loss indicator known as the NUPL, which offers profitability ratios for cohorts of stored coins. Coming soon, however, is the key line in the sand for bull market hodlers. Quoting him here, considering the NUPL across different age bands provides insights into profitability dynamics. Notably, the depicted graph reveals that all UTXO age bands currently in a profitable state, except for the hodlers with Bitcoins held for 18 months to 3 years. Now, this aligns with their entry during the Bitcoin price rally to, I think we hit 69,000. Their NUPL nearing the profitability benchmark of 0 suggests a potential break-even point if Bitcoin continues to rally beyond 39,000. The question becomes, when are we going to break 38? What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the chat. Now, CryptoQuant data shows the overall proportion of unspent transaction outputs, known as UTXOs, currently at a loss, just at 11.6%. So whale entities have been increasing their Bitcoin selling at these current prices, which is very interesting. Do you think there's some market manipulation going on, or what are your thoughts? Let me know. As you know, there's massive asset managers looking to accumulate Bitcoin and seeding their ETFs right now. CoinFather says, forgot that Bitcoin dominance is 52%. Well, that's what's up. How high do you think that Bitcoin dom will climb for this bull cycle peak? Michael Saylor says 60% is stupidity. It should be 70, 80, 90. What are your thoughts? Streamlabs, it's all good. Welcome, Churchyards. What up, Andy? California in the building. Shout out. Taking lunch early, and now I'll just listen from Brooklyn, New York. BK to the bridge. What it do? Shout out to my New Yorkers out there. Sack Gary Gensler. Well, that's going to be one of the topics of conversation. Breaking news regarding Gary Gensler for sure. I'll be covering with you today. Good stuff. Yes. And Appreciate everyone just joining us. What it do? We are early. We have to switch the schedule from time to time just to keep you guys on your toes. But we'll be back to our regular scheduled 3 p.m. Eastern time frame tomorrow for Saturday. So just note 75% or more predicts CoinFather. I think that's a good prediction. How high did we climb for the previous bull? That'd be a good metric to look at as well. Maybe we can look at the Bitcoin dominance charts. So yeah, but anyways, we still have lots of news to share. So let's discuss a lot regarding ETFs. You know, there is a big deadline on the table for the SEC today. I think it's very unlikely we get any green lights for ETFs, but there's still that probability. So we should discuss it. Let's start with discussing the latest from WisdomTree, amending their S1 form spot Bitcoin ETF filing as they await the SEC on their decision. Here we go. The global ETF provider WisdomTree filed an amended Form S1 spot Bitcoin ETF prospectus with the US SEC November 16th, which was yesterday. The update comes a few months after they refiled for the spot Bitcoin ETF app back in June of this year, proposing a rule change to list and trade shares of the WisdomTree Bitcoin Trust on the BZX, which is an exchange by the Chicago Board Options Exchange, which is the CBOE. The amended prospectus mentions that WisdomTree Bitcoin Trust ETF will trade under the ticker symbol BTCW with Coinbase Custody Trust, so the same as BlackRock, serving as the custodian, hodling all of the trust Bitcoins on its behalf. And according to the Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyfert, the updated Form S1 spot ETF filing by WisdomTree means the firm is still planning to launch an ETF and is discussing the opportunity with the SEC. Quoting Seyfert here, all issuers were expected to have to file one of these to potentially launch their ETF at some point, just a step in the process. Nothing critical. Now, another Bloomberg ETF expert by the name of Eric Balchunas noticed that WisdomTree took long enough to amend its Form S1 Bitcoin ETF filing. Quoting him here, please tell me the SEC isn't waiting till all S1s are updated before issuing a second round of comments. Wouldn't be shocking, right? As far as they've been pushing this ETF back for a spot for the past freaking decade. But anyways, according to Seyfart's data, only 2 spot Bitcoin ETF filers out of the 12 firms in the US have yet to amend their S1 filings with the SEC. And that includes Franklin Templeton and Global X. Quoting Seyfart here, okay, we're nearing in on the deadline dates for 3 spot Bitcoin ETF apps. I want to get ahead of it because there is a pretty good chance we'll see delay orders from the SEC. Delays would not change anything about our views, and 90% odds for the 19B4 approval by January 10th of 2024. Ultimately, what he's trying to say here, if we don't get the green light by the end of today, which is not looking so probable, then the next deadline is January 10th. And you can see that here, those green boxes, the 17th today for a couple of them. And then we got one also for Global X on the 21st, which is, I guess, next week, probably Monday or so. So we got Hashdex, Franklin Templeton, and Global X. We got to keep our eyes out on right now. So let's discuss Franklin Templeton awaiting its first spot Bitcoin ETF deadline on November 17th. Today, also Hashdex, whose deadline was previously also set for November 17th, saw the deadline move to January 1st. Crazy, right? A few days ago. And Global X, another firm that hasn't mentioned its S1 filings as of yet, is also awaiting its second spot Bitcoin ETF deadline on November 21st. Probably Monday or Tuesday. Bloomberg ETF analyst Seyfart expect the SEC to do another round of delays. There's nothing new from them on decisions regarding the upcoming deadlines in the near future. However, Seyfart still believes the delays would not alter his perspective of the 90% likelihood of the SEC approving the spot Bitcoin ETF before the end of January 2024. So there you have it. What are your thoughts on those 90% percentage predictions that we get that spot ETF approved by January 10th? And do you think there's a potential it can just come out of left field when everyone's least expecting it? I think the SEC and Gary Gensler are allowing their homeboys on Wall Street, the Lawrence Finks, the Abigail Johnsons out there, to accumulate and seed their ETFs. Because otherwise, if they gave the green light now, what if we just shot up God candle followed by God candle, and all of a sudden we're back at new all-time highs, right? That wouldn't be good for BlackRock and good for the people launching the ETFs, because the lower they can buy it, the more profit. So that's the common sense scenario I'm thinking in my brain, but you guys let me know what you think. Phil, what it do? Good to see you guys. Shout out to Cornwall, England, UK in the building. Appreciate you guys. Easy mode investing is now on. If Bitcoin falls, buy. If Bitcoin moons, fly. I like that. That's going to be quote of the day. Shout out Neo Styles. What it do, JJ? Just chilling, getting ready for another weekend here. Yesterday, I put up the Christmas tree with the kiddo, and so just getting the decorations flowing for Christmas season right amongst us. How high do you think Santa will deliver a Bitcoin price? It's going to be cool. It'd be dope if we can continue marching north and break 40,000 this November. We got to keep in mind, though we're consolidating. Last time we consolidated, within 24 hours, we were retesting the annual 18-month high. So it could happen again. Anything is possible in crypto, and that's what makes it so exciting. You know what I mean? No one knows what's going to happen, but overall, we know the trajectory is looking bullish as all hell right now, especially with the halving 5 months out and spot Bitcoin ETF approvals imminent, with the experts claiming 90% chance of approval by January 10th. So let's freaking go. What it do, Yahim? Doesn't ARK already own enough Bitcoin for its ETF? Maybe so, but they got to get the green light for the approval to launch an actual product. And that's what we're waiting on right now. No, application has been approved as of yet. The SEC has been delaying this for over a decade, with the Winklevoss twins submitting the very first one, which is crazy if you think about it. Bitcoin is the real road to global community, not governments. Preach, Emilio. Couldn't agree more with you, fam. Dip over the weekend. You already know. You've been asking for a buy the dip opportunity. Here you go. But it may not last long, considering we're still in Moonvember, so don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? You overseas guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Appreciate that. Thanksgiving week coming up. I believe it's Thursday, so in 6 more days here in the United States. January 10th, let's freaking go. Word up. Appreciate the thumbs up, Yahim. Anyways, fam, a shout out to Silver as well. Let's accumulate these stats over the weekend then, shall we? Let's break down our next story of the day. We discussed WisdomTree. Now let's discuss the latest developments with the Valkyrie ETF and what's going on right here. Check this out. European digital asset manager CoinShares secured the exclusive opinion to acquire Valkyrie funds. Interesting. The ETF unit of its United States competitor, Valkyrie Investments, which includes the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund, which is currently awaiting U.S. approval by the SEC. No Claire Gare, where you at, big dog? CoinShares said on November 17th, the move helps it expand to the U.S., which can soon become the epicenter for ETF offerings. The firm's CEO, Jean-Marie Mognetti, added that he hopes that Valkyrie's acquisition will help it capitalize on what is currently a fragmented global ETF market. Quoting him here, the establishment of crypto spot ETPs in Europe since 2015, a development about to be mirrored in the US, is the perfect illustration. This disparity in market evolution presents both challenges and significant opportunities. Makes a good point there. The option will remain active until March 31st. Wow, that's literally right before the halving, as the halving is going to take place sometime in April. So for now, Valkyrie funds will continue to operate as an independent entity until an acquisition by CoinShares is finalized. So that's the big news. You can see Valkyrie announcing it right here on X. Big news. Valkyrie is set to join the CoinShares Co. family. We're thrilled about the partnership, uniting our U.S. market insights with CoinShare global expertise. Together, we're redefining digital asset investment in the United States and beyond. Now, the two crypto-centric firms also agree on a brand licensing term where the CoinShares name would be issued in future S1 filings to the SEC. Now, used to register a security offering with the regulator when companies plan to go public. If the SEC approves the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund, Valkyrie plans to incorporate the CoinShares name into the ETF. Valkyrie filed for the spot Bitcoin ETF back in June, and along with BlackRock and a host of other financial firms. CoinShares currently oversees over $3.2 billion in assets under management, which makes them a shrimp compared to $10 trillion of Larry Fink and BlackRock, just saying, and expressed its optimism towards the US crypto ETF market in September and iterated that the economic powerhouse isn't lagging on digital asset regulation. So there you have it, fam. So many ETFs, so many deadlines. A spot is destiny, but the $1 million question becomes when? right? When are we going to get that green light, Mr. Gensler? But bought more Bitcoin a little bit ago. Congratulations to WCB on stacking them stats. Well done. Continue stacking. The Ride to the Valkyries. You got that right, Jay. Is that a real legit song? I've never heard of it. Who sings it? I don't think they concede until they get the approval. Am I wrong? Well, you may be wrong, hypothetically, because Larry Fink has already came out and they already announced that BlackRock started and began seeding their spot Bitcoin ETF in October. There's a lot of news stories on that. I covered it here in the show. So yeah, the news could be wrong, but who knows? More than likely, the juggernauts out there must have already began seeding. That's, I think, why the price shot up from the 20,000 levels to 36. They're probably doing it on the low, right? Because if you had to make the announcement, then everyone's going to want to front run them and the price would just go parabolic, new all-time highs. Just like that. What's going on, Trini? Good to see you, my fam. They can't seed, but you know how they do. Exactly. They do what they do on the low, and they move like that of a ghost. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? Yes, 100%. But anyways, let's dive into our next story of the day. We just discussed the latest with the Valkyrie ETF. Now breaking news with Gary Gensler. This is actually quite interesting. The Ripple lawyer urges a fact check of Gary Gensler's speech. Says the SEC actions seen as shady. Let me know if you think Gensler is the real Slim Shady. Please stand up. Please stand up. Here we go. Mr. Gensler reiterated the U.S. SEC mandate in a speech. Ripple's lawyer and various community members on X responded, criticizing the SEC chair and arguing the commissioner's words contradict his own actions. Now, November 16th, the SEC chair yesterday shared a video of him conducting a speech at the 2023 Securities Enforcement Forum. In the speech, he highlighted the words of the first SEC chair, Joseph Kennedy, saying that the government's agency should be partners of honest business and prosecutors of dishonesty, as he shares right here in this video coming directly from Gary Gensler himself. He says, as Joseph Kennedy, the first SEC governor chair, once said, we're not prosecutors of honest business, nor defenders of crookedness. We're partners of honest business and prosecutors of dishonesty. We shall not prejudge, but we shall investigate. What are your thoughts on those remarks, fam? Now, the community went ham, triggering responses from various crypto members, including Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Valkyrie. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but let's just say Stuart, who is currently engaged in a legal battle against the SEC. And according to Stuart, the SEC chair's recent remarks should be fact-checked, as Gensler has prejudged crypto and has filed suit against others without investigation. I think that's a fact. Quoting Stewart here, and good for him for calling him out. The SEC is losing in court, being criticized by judges for shady behavior, being rebuked by the government's internal auditor, hiding info about meetings with a felon, must be referring to Sam Bankman-Fried, becoming irrelevant on the international stage. Gensler, admitting no fault, has become the insulate Cole Joseph. And you can see, you can't handle the truth. Now, Stewart also highlighted the Ripple was sued, but was never charged with dishonesty. That's not a good look for them, right? The Ripple executive also threw some accusations towards the SEC, said they are being criticized for shady behavior and are becoming irrelevant internationally. And apart from Stewart, we also had other community members respond to the video that Gensler shared, including Eric Voorhees, founder and CEO of trading platform Shapeshift, which is another decentralized platform you may want to check out, saying Gensler has prosecuted his honest business twice. And meanwhile, another member of the community responded to Gensler's remarks, saying that he was quoted was a vision. However, the Twitter user argued that it has evolved for the worse, accusing the SEC of facilitating the legitimization of a corrupt system. We call that RICO. But here's what Max Keiser has to share in the story in response to this headline. He's claiming Ripple and XRP fits the description of a criminal racket. RICO statutes apply. Now, if you're not familiar with RICO, that's basically organized crime. It's a pretty serious deal. All the mafia members back in the day got charged on that. And if you get charged with RICO, I mean, again, it's a big deal. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think Gensler is the crooked mofo here? Or do you think Ripple and the XRP are the crooked mofos running a criminal racket and that RICO statutes apply? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. I'm going to read some comments, drink some water, and then we'll proceed. Good stuff. High quality H2O, fam. It's going to be a great weekend. What are you looking forward to mostly for the weekend? Is it the price action, anticipating a pump, or you got something going on? Let me know, Neo. How does Gensler keep a straight face? That's the million-dollar question as well. No clue. He is like Jamie the Tapeworm Diamond. He's bred for this ish. It's in his DNA. He started practicing in grade school when he got bullied. That's right, Neo. More than likely. 3-judge panel basically said, you guys, the SEC, are clowns. Also, you got to give credit where credit is due to the congressmen like Tom Emmer and everyone holding Gensler accountable as well, because we all know Gensler is a shady mofo. XRP is legit, says Eddie. Are you an investor? Let me know. JJ says mofos. You already know we don't like mofos here on the show. We like FOMOs. What up, Baller Bill? Starting Friday, I'm with some whiskey in the coffee. Oh, word. Is that a good look? I mean, wow, whiskey and coffee. I've never heard that one. Wow, that's that'll probably put some chest hair on your body too as well. Put a fire in the belly, if you know what I mean. What's up, guys? Black Swan, the Don says the SEC equals a clown. I can't argue with you there. Seems to be this way. Trust nobody, verify everything. The regulators all crooked as hell. Seems to be that. I mean, I look at them all as enemies of Bitcoin because the SEC is an organization that works for the powers that be, and the people that print the money tend to make the rules. The people that print the money perceive Bitcoin as a direct threat to their central banking cartels. You know what I mean? The chairman is the frickin' sheriff of crypto, and the people he's working for all despise and hate Bitcoin, hence why no spot ETF. But the game is about to change and do a total 180 because now you got BlackRock and the major institutions stepping up with, Bitcoin. Now, something interesting, President Xi from China, totally different topic, just visited, I think, San Francisco. They showed they cleaned up the cities. And if you didn't know, San Francisco is one of the most hideous cities because of the drug use, the homelessness, and all the stuff going on. I visited many years ago. It wasn't as bad, but I see some of the feeds on X and I'm just like blown away. But anyways, they cleaned up the city for the arrival of President Xi, and he just met up with Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, Lawrence Fink, aka Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, and all the other big heads. What in the world are they planning? What kind of business is Larry Fink and Tim Cook doing with the Chinese party? You know what I mean? Some words I got to be careful how I say them because we're on YouTube right now. But you know what I mean? What's really going on, guys? You let me know. And on Rumble, Uncensored, we can talk more into detail in this topic. Good morning. What up, what up, ESP? It's been a minute. How you been? Have my small bag of XRP, says ESP. What will happen today? Approve or reject? Most likely, I'd throw 95% chance reject, and they push it back again. However, there's still 5% hope, but they say 90% chance approval by January 10th. So that's the deadline you need to mark in your calendars. Surprise Larry Fink does not have more pull on Gensler. I do think that Fink is more powerful than the United States government, at least his company that he is the CEO of. They control 10 trillion. That's a pretty big deal. Irish coffee, it be what it be. Oh, is that what it is? We have a bag of XRP, says Churchyard. Love and respect from Melbourne, Australia. Shout out to my Aussies. Much love. Appreciate you guys. Okay, they're supposed to work for us, these mofos, and they don't. Exactly. Isaac Perez, I'm in college, and my professor for investment class doesn't believe in crypto. Says he ain't buying it, even though traditional institutional adoption is coming. I'm like, all right, bruh, keep sleeping. Yeah, let them sleep. Some people you can't wake up, and I mean, you tried. His downfall, he'll discover the truth in the end when he's still teaching classes in 10, 20 years, and you're, riding high, retired, Bitcoin multimillionaire, maybe billionaire, hopefully. Neo, Isaac, some people live off emotions, not reason. Your professor simply has an emotional attachment to the past. Preach. The shakeout is here, dollar cost average and hodl. Preach. Appreciate you, Jesse. Trinidad, thanks for tuning in. Derek Williams says we're going down to 32. Okay, anyone agree with that sentiment? Correction down to 32 before soaring back up? Or do you think we're likely to retest sooner? Thank you, N.I. Riki, for subscribing to the channel. Everyone who subs will get a on-screen shout out from yours truly. So please do sub. You also receive daily premium crypto news alerts. So that's the icing on the cake. We're not supposed to ever sell our Bitcoin. So how do we get value out without selling it? You'll be able to borrow against it eventually. It will make no logical sense to ever sell it. That's the direction we're heading, Hellcat. Do you think there will be interest-bearing situations or staking like ETH? Absolutely. Eventually, I think once the ETFs start getting approved, I think we're going to see more mainstream banking legacy products roll out, things related to crypto, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum 100%. And we already know Bitcoin and Ethereum, being BlackRock, are going after them both with an ETF. That means mass adoption. Send it. Hellcat, if you go to sell, never sell your Bitcoin method, you're only supposed to start off with very little capital and grow your portfolio by trading or hodl. You retest 31.8, says Black Swan. Raju, 39. If it goes to 32, get some mo. Give me some mo. 100%. From now on, I buy every freaking dip. You got to pull a Bukele. Remember a year ago? I'm buying every dip. We're buying another Bitcoin every day. Tone Vase just said next time we get past 37, it's going to pop from there. I agree. I think the third time's a charm. The more times we test it historically, then we tend to break it. What up, Sherry Young? Good to see you, my fam. How you doing today? Happy TGIF. Now let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the latest with Mr. Gensler, Valkyrie ETF. We discussed WisdomTree. Now let's discuss ETFs more specifically regarding Cathie Wood saying that the odds of the SEC approving the spot have shot up significantly. Here we go. ARK Invest founder, the one and only Cathie Wood, says the odds are now better that the US SEC will approve the spot market Bitcoin ETF. In a new Yahoo Finance interview, Wood says the SEC is, for the first time, starting to engage with spot Bitcoin ETF applicants. Wood has submitted an application in partnership with 21 shares. Quoting her here, well, something has changed, so we have put in a number of times a filing, and we were just denied. Never got any questions, really. Never got any response. This time, this summer, we got questions back from the SEC. Now, normally, when you get questions from the SEC, you're just saying, oh my goodness, we were thrilled to get questions back because it means they're now engaged. So it wasn't even a possibility. They weren't even entertaining it before because there was no dialogue. So that's the major difference she's pointing out. Continuing here, now we have met a number of the research people at the SEC on the research side, and they're extremely sophisticated. They know what they're talking about, and that level of sophistication of their questions suggested, okay, now they're moving deeply into this, and we answer those questions. We have not heard back. That's a good sign too. They never tell you that you have satisfied them. Now, if you don't hear from them, that usually means that you have satisfied the answers to the requests. So that was new. And we also know that BlackRock has questions. We put our answers in first. I think that they have followed, and I am not sure about anyone else. And she also says something has changed, and that's good. The odds of the approval have gone up. Let's go. Wood also says the deadline for the SEC to act on their particular app is also January 10th, 2024. Quoting her here, January 10th is the final deadline. They've been able to push it. It's very orchestrated. Push it, but the final, they either approve or deny on January 10th. How many of you think we're going to get the approval? Put a thumbs up in the live chat. How many of you think they're going to push it back even after January 10th? Put a thumbs down in the live chat. Let me know. Wood believes the SEC would approve multiple applicants at once, I guess to avoid favoritism, right? She also says there could be some complications if Grayscale decides to sue the SEC over issues related to the company's desire to convert an existing Grayscale Bitcoin trust into a spot ETF. Oh snap, that sucks. If that did happen. There's only one wrinkle, she says. We know Grayscale wants to convert to an ETF. I don't know how practical that is, or if the SEC will let them, or if they need a special dispensation. I just don't know the rules. Grayscale has said it will sue the SEC again if it denies the conversion. If they were to do that before January 10th, I don't know if that will throw everything up in the air again. Well, that gives the freaking SEC and Gary Gensler a loophole to not approve it. So they can just deny Grayscale, and then Grayscale's like, screw you guys, we're suing you. And then everything gets pushed back again, and we see no ETF approval by January 10th. So that could also be an outlier. So just because the ETF experts are all saying 90%, it's going to be approved, 90%, anything can happen, and we can't trust no Claire Gare, and we know that for a fact. So what are your thoughts? Are we going to get that approval by January 10th, or is it likely going to be pushed back again on some BS? Let me know, fam. And to watch this video that Kathy Wood did recently with Yahoo Finance entitled Odds of the Spot Bitcoin ETF Approval Have Gone Up, check the show notes below the video in the description. You know what I mean? All speculation, says N. Seems to be that way. Nuckchoris is in the building. Doesn't Nuckchoris personally hodl 22 million Bitcoin? Let me know if that's true. CoinFather, also the first time in history the SEC brought all the companies applying for an ETF to discuss what they want from them. That's the good sign. That's the dialogue they're creating, which means they're entertaining the idea, meaning we're getting closer. We're making progress. Hallelujah. By 2050, it's going to get approved. Approval after January 10th, says JJ. So if you think it's going to be after January, do you still think it'll be before the halving, which is scheduled to take place in April? It's only 5 months out. Let me know your thoughts. Michael says, I don't think we get it. They will prolong it as long as they can. Yeah, as long as there's a loophole. So I guess it's going to depend upon Grayscale. But again, if they know that's the loophole, the SEC is just going to deny Grayscale. Grayscale is going to sue them. Oh, it's up in the air again. We don't know. Push it back, push it back. Giving their homies on Wall Street, the BlackRocks of the world, more opportunity and time to seed their ETFs. Nuck says 22 million yesterday. I'm up to 34 million Bitcoin in my cold wallet. Everyone showed Nuckchoris some love. He somehow surpassed everyone. He surpassed the maximum Bitcoin supply, and he's personally hodling it. I don't know how Nuckchoris continues to pull this off. I bought Bitcoin in high school when it was 20 G's. That's what's up. The fact that you bought Bitcoin in high school is a blessing, fam. Currently still holding it. I never sold it. Do you recommend selling it when it peaks again and then buying it once it dips? I don't recommend that, Isaac Perez. Most investors will get wrecked trying to time it. The best scenario is just hodling. You already picked up the Bitcoin, you bought it back in high school, now you just need to hodl a little bit longer. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to sell it unless you no longer want that investment or savings account and you're ready to buy something, maybe a physical house or something that you want that's tangible. You could do so. In some scenarios, it may make sense, but if you're a long-term believer in Bitcoin, it would never make sense to depart with it. I'll tell you this, the BlackRocks of the world, they'll never depart with their accumulated Bitcoin. Never. This is a lifetime play. Same with Michael Saylor, you know what I mean? And the rest of the, Giga Chads out there. Kevin, is this the second or third Snoop Dogg quit smoking weed? What? What are we talking about? Snoop Dogg quit smoking weed? I've heard that like at least a dozen times. He ain't quitting smoking weed. I've never seen Snoop Dogg not light up a blunt. Ever. CNA quiz. What Bitcoin influencer says? It's 11th grade math. Good question, StatWise. Do you guys know? Let me know in that chat. My coworker is 21. He was gifted Bitcoin and wants a Lambo so bad. Man, how can I exist with that? Bitcoin cowboy. I mean, you get to a certain age eventually where material things don't excite you. So, but I think regardless of my age, I'm always going to be excited about Bitcoin. So I rather hodl a Bitcoin or obviously multiple Bitcoin versus a Lambo. A Lambo is going to depreciate in value every year. And we'll get to the point where your Lambo is worth nothing. And then that Bitcoin you could have had that you traded your Lambo for is going to be worth millions of dollars. And you're going to be working fast food. You know what I mean? Snoop Dogg FUD seems to be that way. I agree. Never sell your Bitcoin. Yet, I say never sell ever because it's going up forever, Laura. Did you guys enjoy my JV React session yesterday exclusively on Rumble? It was dedicated to Michael Saylor. I chose his best rants and just savage moments, and we did reacts to them. It was pretty lit. Let me know if you were there. When ETF? That's a good question, Kenzo. It could be today. And also we got to keep in mind, just because we get the approval doesn't mean it's going to launch. The launch could take a month following the approval. So we're not going to see an ETF anytime soon, probably in a few months, my guess. But let me know your thoughts. We love your excitement every day, Jay. Thank you, Jim Wood. Appreciate that, fam. And then we have an approve after the halving. It could be that way. You never know what to expect with no clarity, Gary. Emilio says, I'm 60 and I'm still excited. Love that, fam. CoinFather, Bitcoin Spot ETF approval before the halving. Launch after the halving. Could be this way. According to CoinFather, we shall soon see. Why does everyone who's in crypto talk about Lambos? It's kind of like just the meme to be in crypto. You see all these dorks get rich, buy Lambos. I would sell it. That's the point of buying it in the first place. It has to be the right amount. Well, you got to think about it. Will you want, at the time you're going to sell your Bitcoin, will you want fiat? Like, honestly, if fiat, such as the US dollar, gets hyperinflated and Bitcoin just starts soaring, goes up millions of dollars, the dollar's worth nothing, why would you even trade it for the most useless fiat currency? You understand? So you got to start thinking into the future. Bitcoin's probably not even going to be compared to the dollar when the dollar hyperinflates. We'll be comparing it to gold or something more stable because the dollar is not stable due to hyperinflation. And they're just going to continue to print until those wheels fall off. We all know that. The approval is all we need. Yes, we're going to get back to all-time highs. But guess what? Even without the approval, Bitcoin would still hit an all-time high, I say, after the halving, even without the ETFs. The ETF is just icing on the cake. It's adding fuel to the fire for the flame to burn. You know what I mean? I agree. The math says 100%. Fiat is eventually going to zero. Bitcoin is the way out. Glad not everyone sees it yet. That's right. Because by the time everyone sees it, Bitcoin's already going to be $1 million. That's fact, right? It will before January 10th, most likely, says Chris. Hellcat, I think financial institutions want this ETF. Well, absolutely do. Before the halving, with enough time to exploit it and pull all the strings, even with the SEC. You're probably right, Hellcat. If you smash the like button, JV will grant you one wish. This is true, but you only get one wish. So choose wisely. All right, fam. Now let's dive into our breaking story of the day. Let's discuss why is BlackRock buying so much Bitcoin right now? And when will their ETF filing finally be approved? And once it gets approved, what's that going to do to the Bitcoin price action? Let's discuss all of this. First and foremost, we had Mark Yusko just recently interviewed, and he says it will get approved. He's 100% certain. Also, Kathy Wood said, as I shared in previous story, she agrees that the odds are continuing to go up. The ETF experts also agree the odds are going up. Over 90%. We also have Forbes just released this article, very important. Sudden BlackRock breakthrough predicted to trigger a huge $25 trillion market cap. And I shared with you in great detail Kathy Wood's $25 trillion market cap prediction on the back of these ETFs being approved. Now that would take the crypto market cap roughly 20x from where we're currently at. Someone run the math, because if we only 10x the Bitcoin price from today's price action, we're already talking about something major like $350,000 per Bitcoin. What if we were to 20x? Now we're talking $700,000 per Bitcoin. But what does Michael Saylor have to say? The Giga Chad, the rocket scientist himself. Here you go. Here's what he had to share in this interview. And I shared this and it started going viral. I shared it at like midnight last night. We already got 64 hearts and 7 retweets and it's starting to blow up. But he says, quoting him, I think eventually Bitcoin as an asset class becomes a $100 trillion asset class. So there you have it. That's 4x the prediction of 25 trillion. Could you imagine what if we did hit a 100 trillion asset class? And yes, it's possible. Some people, there's not that much money. No, total addressable market is north of 700 trillion. So don't you think 1 out of every $7 should enter Bitcoin eventually, with Bitcoin being the apex predator? And you know what I mean? All the other bullishness surrounding it, it being perfect money, it being a hedge against deflation, a hedge against inflation, you know what I mean? It being a store of value, it being pristine collateral, it being incorruptible and censorable, it being unconfiscatable. It has everything working for it. So I agree. I don't think that's going to happen overnight, clearly, but eventually, I think Michael Saylor is right. I think Bitcoin will go up forever, Laura. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know. And speaking of Michael Saylor, he also says, yes, Bitcoin is an asset class, and that's a major revolution. If Fidelity and BlackRock and if 10 other ETF issuers all agree that Bitcoin is an asset class, which they already agree it is. It should be 10x to 100x bigger than it is right now. And you run the math. When we start talking 100x bigger and start talking these $100 trillion market caps, we're talking massive price action for Bitcoin, multiple seven figures. Easy peasy. 100x from 35 G's is what, 3.5 million? Send it. Let's freaking go. Demand for Bitcoin could grow by up to 10x within the next 12 months, according to Michael Saylor. Listen up. I think that this next 12 months is going to be big because demand on a monthly basis should double or triple, maybe even go up by a factor of 10. So anywhere from 2 to 10. And the supply available for sale will be cut in half in 5 months. In April, Bitcoin halving incoming. Let's go. So instead of $1 billion of Bitcoin available for the miners each month, it will be $500 million. It's pretty unprecedented that you would go from a supply and demand balance of maybe 15 billion of organic demand and 12 billion of organic supply. What happens when one doubles and the other one gets cut in half? The price is just going to adjust up. That's right. Bitcoin got that go up number technology. You already know, fam. You're going to have ferocious competition. Keyword, ferocious. I love that. And will amongst Wall Streeters to get the most asset share. And you're going to have crypto exchanges competing. And you're going to have other tech companies getting involved. That'll be one check. So if you think about it like that, you just say, well, now we're going to double, and we're going to double again, we're going to double again, and we're going to double again. That coin is going to continue to progress to $1 million per coin, $2 million per coin, $5 million per coin, 100. Well, he says 10 million a coin. I don't want to misquote him. But anyways, there you have it coming from Michael Saylor. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Giga Chad. And he also says, I have quite a lot of predictions, but we'll save this one for another time. Max Kaiser is also calling for 100x. So I'm going to read you this Max Kaiser quote. Shout out to the high priest. Bitcoin has already and will continue to outperform everything else so spectacularly by 100x or more that anyone holding fiat, stocks, bonds, gold, and all the ish coins, property, etc. will literally be impoverished. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Max Kaiser, and what are your thoughts surrounding those bullish predictions from the one and only Michael Saylor. Let me know in that chat. I'm going to read everyone's comments to the best of my abilities here for the next few minutes, and then we're going to continue on over on Rumble for the uncensored version of the show and a JV React session. Neo says, JJ, you mean those stoic confidence look on his face that Bitcoin, oh yes, mad stoic confidence. Amen. Bored explaining the math of Bitcoin. I love when Saylor is asked a question and he begins to answer. Classic Saylor. Anyone on Tangem Wallet experience any thoughts? Let us know. Good question, Christopher. What it do, chill? Welcome to the show. UFO Nut, appreciate you tuning in. Saylor asked if when your family travels, do they diversify and everyone travels on a different plane? Yeah, that was the savage Michael Saylor clip I shared where he talks about, they're like, you're all in. Don't you believe in diversification? And then he's like, do you believe in diversifying your chair? How many chairs are you sitting on? He's like, when you travel with your family, how many airplanes are you on? How many mics do you trust that it's going to? One, right? So yeah, Saylor's the bomb diggity. Yesterday, I bought 200 of Bitcoin on Ledger via PayPal. Word up, Jeff. That's what's up. PayPal changed me $5 and Ledger charged me $77. Damn. That's not a good look. I wonder why you got charged so much. This sounds outrageous, especially with only a $200 buy. Good Lord. You got to use Lightning. You got to find an exchange using Lightning because it'll be virtually free to send it to any wallet. Got it, need it, sell it. Thanks for the predictions. You're welcome, Aryan. I appreciate it. Your arms are jacked. Thank you, fam. I try. What up, Gohar, Abbas? I got to work on my shoulders. My shoulders are just like normal, and I got these like really big arms, big chest. For a little guy, I only weigh like 130 pounds. I'm trying to get my weight back up to 140. Yeah, for shizzle. MJ, what it do? One of the greatest stoics, Marcus, is that Arlas said, buy Bitcoin. Let's buy it. Are those from the Roman days you're quoting? They had Bitcoin back then? I didn't know. But yeah, I got to get to the JV React session, uncensored on Rumble. If you don't know, now you know. I stream simultaneously every single day, 7 days a week, here on YouTube, as well as on Rumble. When the YouTube show ends, we continue with the uncensored after party on Rumble. I invite you all to join us. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply just open up the Rumble app and type in Crypto News Alerts. You should find the live stream. I look forward to seeing you there for our live JV React session. And tomorrow's episode will be back at our normal time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. So please take note of it. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show and at our after party here shortly. Deuces to YouTube. See you soon. Peace. All right, YouTube, we out. We're going to continue the party over on